think we are live now. This message is being live streamed. Yes, got it. 皆さん、こんにちは。Hi, everyone.
こんにちは。Hello.
Hi. I am so excited to have Maki Ishiwatari as my guest today.
お
Yay.
願いします。
よろしくお願いします。So today this live is going to be all in English because we will well, first of all, Maki is one of the key person for the event Zen 2.0, the Global Zen Mindful Conference. And I am super excited about this event. And I just cannot wait to find out more. But I'm a newbie and I don't know much about it. But Maki is a key person. She's actually an international coordinator. So she coordinates the international guests and then just communication with the international guests. So she knows in and out of this event. So I, as you all know, a bundle of curiosity. So I just wanted to ask all the questions to Maki. I'm so honored and happy to have you here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for letting me come and speak.
Yeah. So I want to introduce you first. Actually, for those of you who don't know me, my name is and I am a certified nutritional therapist and also a theta healing practitioner and an instructor. I live in Montana, and I just love living my life, and I'm trying to learn more. I can learn about the mindfulness, and Maki is actually I met her through the Zen 2.0 co-creator, Mr. Miki. She is I don't know how to express this, but she is doing a coaching. So that she does a business coaching, and also like she promotes the self-awareness for the business leaders so that they can be mindfulness in leading to their decisions. And just maybe Maki can explain this a little bit better about what she does in her business coaching and then her mindfulness coaching. Do you mind sharing just a little bit of yourself, what you do?
Sure. I'm actually a leadership coach. I became a leadership coach 4 years ago. This was through actually I had been a country manager of an e-commerce company in Japan. And when I got into leadership, I struggled. And it was a journey. Then it was a journey into getting to know myself better and how I can motivate myself as well as others. Eventually I understood that company was not my life mission, and I went into coaching. Yeah. So that was 4 years ago. So now I help leaders kind of find their way through leadership. Yeah, and that has actually led to so this year I've started teaching mindfulness too, and this is with a view of leaders taking mindful time to understand themselves better and make better decisions, have better clarity about their decision making. So yeah, that's what I do. And I actually, concerning Zen 2.0, I met Koji. You had him on your post last week. Koji and Mikio, the two co-founders of Zen 2.0, 3 years ago in San Francisco. And yeah, the moment I met them, I was like, oh, okay, I'll help. So yeah, they are great people, and I connected with them instantly. And so yeah, I've been helping Zen 2.0, especially around the international efforts. They had a vision to make this a global movement from the very beginning 5 years ago. We're at our fifth conference this year. So yeah, and now actually when I met them, I was living in Singapore, and now I live in San Francisco Bay, San Jose. So I'm helping them out from here. So connecting Kamakura with San Jose every almost every day to bring this conference together. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's where
Yay,
I
that's
am.
incredible. I'm just so impressed with everybody I meet with who is involved with the Zen 2.0. Every personality shines and everybody has a special skills and special visions and then special things that they are bringing to this world. And then that's one of the most exciting things about me, just being able to be in touch with this event. And it's just really incredible to be able to ask you some questions today too. And
Yeah, happy to be here.
and so since you are the international coordinator, you have been coordinating with international speakers, correct, for the Zen 2.0?
Yeah, so we have two big initiatives from this year. One is a collaboration with a organization called Inner Peace Network. They're based out of Amsterdam, and they come from a yoga school background, and they were of course being yoga, like you are mindful about your body, but then they wanted to get into your inner peace, not your outer exterior, but more into your inner being. So they started doing conferences, I think, 3 years ago, and between Amsterdam and New York. So that's become very successful, and now they have created a what kind of a course that you can tap into. Teachers come and offer like four classes, and you can take them as you go. So um, we connected with them, and we have a very similar objective of making this planet a mindful planet. So we actually started doing a collaboration, and I wanted to maybe introduce you a little bit about our collaboration. I'll share my screen.
Yeah,
Before we did the conference, we so I'm gonna briefly show Inner Peace Network. Ah, oh, yeah. So, oops. This is Inner Peace Network. Oh,
beautiful website.
yeah. So they have teachers and they offer uh, like mindfulness courses, yoga courses, and some of the people here, like Satish Kumar, Tiokasin Ghost Horse, and Jeep Pervion. The three teachers are actually will be joining us for our conference.
I
And
cannot wait.
so, just a little bit about Satish. He
Yeah,
is
I'd love to
a
hear.
peace activist. He, in the I think 60s, he had uh, done peace walks of 8,000 miles from India through Russia to London to France and then even to the States, to Washington, to do to see leaders of the countries
Mhm.
to for anti-nuclear activism. So and now he's created a college called Schumacher College
Mhm.
in Devon in the UK, and it's a kind of master course for ecology, and he has a lot of many books, and they're all so beautiful. We
Mhm.
just did a event last week. It was just watching the BBC documentary about Satish and his kind of it's called Earth Pilgrim, and it's just walking in nature with him, and it's such a beautiful documentary. I think it's free online, so if anybody is interested, it's just a beautiful. It's like watching it is like a almost like a meditation.
Oh, if it's available online, I need to put that on the link below later on.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
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 everybody can have access to that. And
yeah.
I just wanted to interrupt you. So
Mm.
those events, pre-events, is can anybody join those events or
The pre-events, they tend to be in Japanese.
oh okay.
Maybe we can do an English one. We'll let you know.
Okay. But if
Yeah.
they are interested, is there any place that they can find it? Can they go to the Zen 2.0 website to find out about pre-events or the Facebook group?
The Facebook. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
I'll make
yeah,
sure to include that link down there at the end of the interview as well, so that people
yeah,
can have access to that information.
yeah. Great, thank you. And
Mhm.
then the second person is Tiokasin Ghost Horse. He is a Nobel Prize nominee who is from the Lakota Native American tribe. He has a radio station in New York that features Native Americans. And yeah, we talked to him last week, and his stories are quite amazing. He talks about how in the Lakota language there's no I or you because we are all one of the same thing. So and of course with nature, so I and we and nature are all the same subject, so they don't distinguish.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
So,
ancient and that's cutting edge, and then that's being part of the culture, and
mhm,
that's
mhm.
how that's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jude Curvin. Oh my God. The three of them actually have a similar kind of story around nature, but Jude Curvin, she is a cosmologist and an archaeologist, and she actually was a executive at a Fortune 500 company. So, but she is also a healer, and she talks about how we are microcosms that make up the whole universe, and how we have forgotten that we are one with the universe. And we need to remember, that's remember. So it's that we are a part of this whole universe and nature and Gaia, as she calls our planet. So, and yeah, her just hearing her speak is so healing. I can't express it well, but I just have to smile when
She
she's talking.
is she a quantum physicist as well,
Yes,
or yeah,
yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
scientist?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and we have actually Japanese speakers that are going to do talks with them. So Jude has a lady named Yukari Tatsumura, who's a producer of a documentary film series that has gone on for 30 years. It's called Gaia Symphony, where they
Oh.
take people that are seem to have some kind of story that are connected to Gaia and the universe, and things happen. Well, I don't know, synchronicity or and things happen for a reason, and it's about people's story like that. So that's wonderful. And then Tiokasin, that I spoke before, he is going to speak with a Yamabushi. That's a mountain priest from the old Japanese mountains. And so they both have ancient wisdom around nature. And yeah, we had a very brief talk, but you can tell that there's like, yeah, they're talking about the same thing. They are from two different, totally different places, but they're both in nature, and they talk about the same thing. So it will be interesting to see the connection.
Yeah, I
And
can't wait for those
yeah,
dialogues that what unfolds from those dialogues.
mhm.
That would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, and then Satish is talking with Professor Maeno from Keio University, and this person is a professor of happiness that researches on happiness.
Mhm.
So they'll be talking about inner ecology and not just outer ecology, where Satish is a school of ecology, Schumacher College is focused on, but more around, yeah, how can we be happy, I guess. Yeah.
Just
And then
listening to the lineup of the speakers make me feel so excited, and then the vibration comes up more and more.
I am like every time we speak, it's just yeah, it's a beautiful conversation, and yeah, so really looking forward to actually doing the conversation in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then so they had a conference, so Inner Peace Network, they had a conference in June, and we had actually introduced some of our teachers to the conference. And so I wanted to show you. Uh, so this is one, I call them our three beautiful monks. They're quite good looking.
Handsome monks.
So,
So ladies, make sure that you join this, watching this.
absolutely. Yeah. So the first one is first person is Shoke Matsumoto. He has a book called A Monk's Guide to a Clean House and Mind. And this is translated into, I think, 16 languages or so.
Wow.
And yeah, as you can see here,
非常にやりがいのある葉っぱが
so
落ちて
he
いるので、
takes
拭き掃除も結構 人数がいてもいいかもしれないですね。
yeah,
例の
turn this a
フェ
little.
イスでちょっと経験者が教えてあげてください。ありがとうね。
So he's in his temple and he's asking people to clean the temple with him. And what he says, it's actually any place, cleaning any place can be a pilgrimage. So just the act of cleaning your house is an act of cleaning your mind. And a lot of times at temples in Japan, they do a lot of daily work, like cleaning and making food. It's not just meditation. And so, yeah, so Shoke actually studied MBA in India. So he can speak English too, and he's very international. And so he teaches a lot of people from different cultures. He takes them and not really teach, I guess. They just clean together, and there's something in that act of cleaning, and it's yeah. He says that just listening to the the brush sound, like is like the brush sound is just being mindful of that sound is even brings you some kind of awareness. So yeah, that's one. The second person I wanted to introduce you to is
More beautiful monks.
yeah, and beautiful and talented. So can you hear? So this monk is he's a musician, and so he takes Buddhist mantras and puts it into music. So this one is Heart Sutra, which is a very, very famous Buddhist mantra, and he's a human beatbox musician. He's actually becoming very, very popular these days. I've seen him has 3.8 million views on this Heart Sutra Live. And he actually used to be a volunteer at Zen 2.0. So he'll come at he is doing the closing for the first day, and that might be a little bit tough for the US, but if you're in Japan time zone, he's at like 9:30 to 10:15, so we end with a little dance. To end the day with a little dance. That's the Heart Sutra. Yeah. So that's Yogetsu. And then the last person that we introduce is Torio Ito. So
Okay, please put your hands down in the relaxed position.
see, he's also a beautiful monk.
Oh,
The handsome trio.
Right. Handsome
learn
three
to tap your potential.
monk.
I believe you have more
Yeah.
potential
So
than you
actually,
recognize.
when COVID started, he was
I want
doing
to shower you with a barrage of questions. Some of
he was
these
doing
questions,
morning
will
meditations every
hit
day,
you
and I
in
was
the
living in
critical
Singapore at the
zone.
time.
You cannot
So
help but think
I
about
would
them.
log in just to
Think
see
them
him.
like an arrow close.
And it was a very
Some of
short
these questions
meditation
will
for
meet you
15
today.
minutes. And then the
They will not
latter
seem
15 minutes is
as important
questions.
as the arrow
So we
near
called
your
it
heart.
Zenmondo,
Some of
and
the
it's
questions
just showering questions.
will feel only
And
like a
we
flesh
just think in
wound,
our mind, maybe
but
journal a little bit
their
about
significance
what we
will
thought about the
grow with
questions.
each day if they are not treated.
And so he'll do that for us.
Don't worry about.
It's it was
don't
quite
worry
nice
now
because,
about dealing with
as you see
answering the
here,
questions.
he
Now
is
we need
doing
to
this from
worry
a
about
Kyoto
which
temple,
questions
and
hit our
the
critical zone.
garden is so beautiful behind him.
Okay.
So
now
that in itself,
you're
when
ready.
we are,
So the
stuck in
arrows
our
are coming.
rooms,
Please
it's just a nice
brace
kind
yourself.
of thing to imagine, right?
Okay.
That there's
Now,
this
you can
very
close your
serene,
eyes
beautiful temple
relax
in
your body
Kyoto that
and
you're connected
try
to.
to have deep breath
So that helped
through
me
your
a
nose.
lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the beautiful thing this year too, that yes, because we are limited in being able to be present in Kamakura, but then at the same time, we have such a better internet connections, like a platform for these conferences that the people all over the world can join and then connect and then be in that same time and space, like share that, remember.
Yeah, remember.
Yeah, creating that connection together.
Yeah. So these are the three people that we introduced to Inner Peace in June. And then they will also be in our conference this coming September. And another person, this is a new person that we have this year that I wanted to, show you. Maybe some people know him or have seen him before. His name is Koto Nishimura. He's also a monk, but he actually is a makeup artist that studied in New York, and he does makeup for at beauty pageants, like the Miss Universe pageants, and yeah, maybe we can see a bit of transformation here. Huh? There we go. So he has been also very popular these days. I think he was, if any of you have seen do you know Queer Eye?
Our guest today.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's a program on Netflix. They did a Japan version of it, and he was in it.
He aims to realize their inner beauty and courage.
And he talks a lot about, of course,
That comes from his own
he
struggles
does
to
a
fit
lot
in
around
growing up in
LGBTQ.
Japan.
So, and
He speaks about how he overcame his struggles and found his way to his current path and what he now hopes to do for others.
So I'm a Buddhist monk. My school is called Pure Land Buddhism. And I think my responsibility is to understand what people are going through, such as sufferings or some problems that they experience every day, and kind of digest the Buddhist teachings myself and tell the stories in an understandable way.
32-year-old Koto Nishimura. He completed his training and was ordained in 2015. He now leads a monk's life at a temple in Tokyo. But his path to monkhood is only part of his story.
I'm a Buddhist monk, but I also have another identity. I am a makeup artist and also an LGBTQ activist. I consider myself gender gifted because I know my body is male, but who is inside my head, who sits in my cockpit, is not necessarily a man or woman. I think soul doesn't have gender. I'm a Buddhist monk who wears heels, and I want to show myself to the world. You can be a homosexual, you can be dressed up, and you can also be a Buddhist monk. So by introducing myself to more people, I think I can give an opportunity for them to think that, oh, maybe I can be somebody different, maybe I can do that, because he's living such free life.
yeah. So that's Kodo, and he actually is going to be a part of a panel. So because not because I'm here, but we connected with Stanford University Zen Society and the Buddhist community at Stanford. By the way, we are not promoting Zen Buddhism. This is a conference for anyone. We actually don't use the Zen, the Japanese character, the Chinese character Zen, but we intentionally use Z-E-N because it's more of a state of being to be right. So we are kind of an open Zen community. So so we have as we talked about, we have Native Americans and we have Christian. We have a Christian nun that always speaks and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily about Buddhism, but we have connected with Stanford University, Zen Society, and Buddhist community there. And we are going to talk about diversity and inclusion. It's I don't think we use the word diversity and inclusion, but the thought around it is that the session is around storytelling, and it's talking about our unique stories, and really embracing each of us embracing who we are. So that will Kodo is one of the people on the panel for that session. Yeah, as well as the other panelist is Chen Han, who's a Chinese American who just came out with a book, Be the Refuge. And there's also Lapson Tempa, who is I think, I want to say Polish who has studied Tibetan Buddhism. And then another person, Ron Howard, who is I think he's African American. That will also join that. So yeah, it's a lot of not only it's not just around Buddhism, and it's not just around Japan, but I think it's really turning out to be a very global event. Oh, and also I have so much to say.
I know, it's just jam-packed, and we only covered just a small portion of the speakers here, right?
Yeah. Another thing I just wanted to note was that we have so the blue, the green, and the orange. The orange is basically talks, but the green is like performances or kind of work exercise. So we have a lot of musicians that we feature also, like the gagaku performance in the morning, and then we have Zen eating. So Kenchoji has this menu. Any Japanese person knows Kenchojiru. Have you heard of Kenchojiru? It's soup, but Kenchoji is the birthplace of Kenchojiru. So there's Shuji Mitsui-san, who's going to talk about how to the story around the Kencho soup, and then Momoe Nishimura is actually one of us, one of the volunteer members, who is actually teaching Zen eating at places like Google and a lot of different places. And so she'll talk about Zen eating or experience together as we have lunch. And then there's Singing Ring, which is more, I think, more down your alley, right? With
Yes, the eating, and then I got a singing bowls here. Yeah, there's everything. It's just really, I'm excited about.
Yeah. And then there's a guitar performance by Derek Gripper, who is in South Africa. He does this beautiful, beautiful mindful guitar. So
What I love about this conference and how it's put together is that it's, amazing speakers and amazing dialogues going on as well. But also, like, it's put together so that it's interactive. Like, you have the music to, open it up, and then, people get to experience it. And then at the same time, you get to hear all these talks and then all these in-depth stories. At the same time, then we have a breakout room that people get to be with the other participants in the small rooms, and then they actually get to interact with each other, and then again that we get to connect with each other, and then in your own language, so that it's just it's not just a passive participation. It's just really like you get to engage with it, and that's really brings everything alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this year, the theme of our conference is A New Earth, Space to Flourish. And what we meant by space is space like, of course, Zazen space, emptiness, all that. So kind of looking into ourselves. But space meaning, we say ma in Japan, but it's between the notes, if it's music. Between the note and the note, there's a ma. So that's space, right? And then there's space as in space for community, space for communication, right? So that space, and space as nature and the universe. So that's we just put it into one conference. And
it's a big concept, and then it's macrocosmo into a microcosmo.
Exactly. But I think the trick is, we are the microcosms of this grand universe. So just being in touch with that, I think, and help us flourish
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think the more people we gather and then put the energy together, like people who resonate with each other, find it with each other. And then just to get to be inspired by the people who are leading in this field, that I think a lot of people are really longing for this kind of connection as
Mm.
well. And then that being able to do that on the global level, I just to feel like that's such a opportunity for everybody to be able to experience this, and then that's, oh my goodness.
Little puppy of 5 months old. He wanted to come and say hi to you all.
Oh, hi. See, now I can connect with California and get to see your puppy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm thinking though that listening to you and then just to be, looking at the lineups and the concept of Zen 2.0, really the mindfulness doesn't not have any borders. And it's just really being able to witness this, just to how this is all put together. It has been really incredible experience for me. And I just cannot wait for this to, like, I mean, each sections, I don't know if I can stay up for all these, some of the times
Yeah.
are kind of brutal for me, but
Yeah. So we do have recording.
good.
So the recordings will be available for the next month after the conference. So
Okay.
yeah.
So if you cannot watch specific section just because it's not kind to your the time zone, you can still catch up with it later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if people want to be a part of this, where would they go? How do they sign up? And yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, and we have this homepage, which is en.zen20.jp. And
Okay.
you can, and we have a Eventbrite page that you can log into. So
Okay.
we have so the early bird ticket is only till the end of August.
Okay.
We have another 6 days.
And that's 20% off, right?
So that's 20%. It's 880. Oh, sorry.
Something like that.
So it's early bird is $80,
Okay.
and then it will go up to $105. So yeah. So till August 31st. Yeah.
Yeah, just to, I mean, being able to immerse yourself in this vibration for 2 days, 2 full days for $80, and then really listen to the world class like thought leaders, and then the mindfulness community getting connected, and who knows that who you remember with, who you get to connect with. And I think that's going to be such an exciting event, and I just cannot wait.
Me neither. Me
Yeah.
neither.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing all this information. I might have to have you on again to like ask specific questions or find out more. Because yeah, I'm sure that there's going to be like other questions that my friends might have, but I know a lot of my healer friends and a lot of people who practice energy medicine, who practice mindfulness, or even the entrepreneurs. I think that they are really like what you are coaching, that a lot of people want to make a difference and then do a business, not just as we have done in the past, but we want to make a difference now.
I didn't
So
get to some of that part. There is a great entrepreneur that's speaking, and also Jeremy Hunter, who is from the Drucker School in LA, will join us too. So it's not just about spirituality and all that, but it's how we put that into the real world too. So yeah, there's still stuff that I didn't reach today. So
and also that to be honest, Zen itself, in the past, it intimidated me to get into a little bit because I felt like I had to do it proper way, or there's a traditional way that you have to follow or something like that. And to some extent, I think that stands true as well. But then the Zen 2.0 seems like it opens it up for everyone. And then maybe it's easier for people to step into that world of Zen or the mindfulness. And then if people want to pursue it even more in a traditional way or in an unconventional way, then they can kind of find their avenue and their own journey into that. But I just feel like this is such a good gateway towards mindfulness and Zen culture and then the world mindfulness community. So I'm just, I think this would be such a life-shifting event for many people.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, thanks for that. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. And I look forward to talking with you more. And if people who are watching this, if you have any questions, maybe you can get in touch with either of us, or there's a lot of people. There's 40 volunteers running this event, and they're all incredible people. So I just hope that you find the information you need. And then I hope to be connecting with people. I think if you resonated with this, I think you would enjoy the event as well. So go to the website and then check it out and join us.
Great. Thanks so much, Ai.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.